Good to see you guys.
Yeah, our chaperone's busy. It's convenient.
Hey, Josh.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you're getting ready to get married.
I did know that.
I thought it'd be time to have a man-to-man talk with you about the birds and the bees.
All right.
You open that up.
Yeah. You wrap it before the wedding night.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. Yesterday, I had an opportunity to share with you some details about the cult following that Jim Bob Duggar has created down in Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, and all of these groupies that follow him around and all of these single moms that he gets involved with and spends way too much time with helping and, paying for their kids and lavishing gifts on single moms and families that move to Arkansas so that they will be loyal to him, join his group, and worship the ground he walks on. Jim Bob has been using this method since as long as they've been on the show and had access to the kind of cash that they did and they do. Before that, he didn't have this kind of money to throw around, but as soon as they got the show, that money started going directly into the make sure that the secrets about Josh never come out, make sure that everyone knows only the barest minimal details about his situation, and make sure that people are kept ignorant about it, gaslight them, and then pay off the people and keep the people that know silent. Allegedly. One person that got roped into the family is Anna Duggar. Anna actually met Josh back in 2006, but she had found out about Josh through their being featured in newsletters with the IBLP, and they had been on speaking circuits within the IBLP. And so the Duggar family had been becoming more and more known. And once their first docuseries dropped, the IBLP sort of promoted that and sort of shared, this is what the Duggars are doing. This is really a great opportunity for them, and they get to show their faith. And Anna expressed that she really liked Josh after what she read about the Duggars. They meet at family camp, and the rest is history, sort of. I mean, Josh was still technically involved in a sort of situation with Kaylee Holt, and so he really went from Kaylee Holt to Anna very quickly. And this decision to have him in Anna court was because Jim Bob had a massive problem he needed to fix, and that was that Josh was doing bad things, and he needed someone that would curb Josh's, impulses, which isn't what his problem was. If marriage cured that kind of stuff, that would be the solution for everything. Anna was brought into the situation. She really liked Josh, and she actually had a testimony that she wanted to marry him. So it's a little bit different that she was forced to be in a situation with him, or that she really didn't want to marry him. The arrangement was definitely orchestrated between the fathers, but of course, Anna, being the fan that she was of Josh's, was already sort of enamored with him. And so getting her to say yes to this wasn't a hard sell. And on top of that, she wanted and was attracted to sort of what the Duggars were doing and wanted to be a part of that. Now, Anna has said repeatedly that the Duggars told her about what Josh had done. As far as I know, and from whatever everyone I've talked to has told me, is that Anna and her dad were given a very watered down version about what happened, and that it was all in the past and it wasn't that big of a deal, and they minimized it. So of course, Josh was saved and said that he had been fixed, and so everything was fine and they were going to move on with their lives. Well, obviously, Anna has gone through her fair share of horrible problems with Josh. He has been unfaithful to her. He has been caught on Ashley Madison. He had the whole scandal break about what happened with the police reports coming out with what he did to his sisters. He's had a woman come out and accuse him of infidelity and the R word. He's, been sued for that. And then suddenly that woman got a car. And now with this current situation, so he's had the stuff from the sisters, the babysitter, the woman, the Ashley Madison. He admits to infidelity. He admits to using, looking at online content, and he admits that he is struggling in that area. Goes to a rehab for Christians, which didn't really fix him. He didn't really do anything, was super arrogant while he was there, I guess. according to people I've talked to. And now he's in prison, right? Throughout that entire time, she has maintained her loyalty to him. So Anna has a very unique position. While some women in the IBLP don't come from affluence and they aren't with families that have money, the Duggars are in a unique position because they have money, and they have money to woo people, and they have money to pay people off. And they also have power, which intimidates people, and they have a large following. So if someone would want to leave a situation, they're going to be harassed, they might get threats, they might experience people calling them from burner phone numbers. Derek talked about that in Shiny Happy People. They might be slandered and defamed and have their entire community taken from them, which is what they've done to families like the Holtz and so many other families that you wouldn't even know about that I've had a chance to speak to. Or you can look at what they've done to Jill. They eliminate anyone from their lives that can harm their reputation and that knows the truth about what's going on in their lives. And they slander them and make them look bad so that nobody will believe them. And because everyone worships the ground he walks on, Jim Bob, because he pays everyone off and buys gifts and lavishes like all of this attention and love bombs them, they don't believe anything negative about him. With Anna, she's in a precarious situation because now that Josh is in prison, she is under the complete control of Jim Bob. So I was talking to someone that was friends with Jim and knew him and, still knows him to this day. And I asked them, without knowing specifically about what's going on in the Duggar house, like, how much control does Jim Bob have over Anna? I said, how much control do you think Jim Bob has over Anna and the kids right now? And the person said 100%. She has no money. She needs dollars, big dollars from other sources. And she's right where Josh wants her. And I said, what do you mean? And they said, Josh did not want her moving away from his family because he knew they could and would control everything about her and the children. And I said, okay. And they said, she has no money, she has no place to live, and she doesn't feel in her mind that she can go out and provide. So she's got her mentality. So they have got her mentally and emotionally and physically locked up. And David Waller, her brother-in-law that's married to Priscilla, is not going to do anything to help Anna get free because he's loyal to Jim Bob and to Josh. So this idea that David and Priscilla could help or maybe give her an opportunity or a place to live, no, they said that just wouldn't happen because he's way too loyal to Jim Bob, and Jim Bob is the shot caller. And because of the amount of power and influence he has in this organization, even though he's not on the board and he doesn't run anything, in many ways, people in this system worship him. And so this person is saying that Anna wanted to move out, and she wanted to move to Texas because she wanted to get away from Jim Bob and Michelle. She wanted to sort of create some distance within the family. She wanted to have her space to raise her kids and sort of be closer to Josh and not have to be in Arkansas under Jim Bob's rule. And if you remember the stories, Josh Duggar did not want her to move because he didn't want her to have any influences outside of that would potentially get her to want to leave. So she's basically now being controlled and being physically, emotionally, and mentally kind of locked up by the Duggars in their house. So Jim Bob is controlling every aspect of her life, down to what her kids are doing for school, like what they go to for church, what activities they participate in. They have gotten to the extent of they take the kids on vacations with them and they don't bring Anna. Like, they are so focused on controlling Anna so that she doesn't leave and she won't leave the system because no one else but Anna and Jill, think about this, could destroy the family. So Anna knows all the secrets. She knows everything that Josh has done. She knows every behavior that he has done. She knows if he's been physically abusive. She knows if he's essayed the kids, probably if she's been essayed by him. She knows if Jim Bob is fraudulent. She knows if Josh is doing fraudulent business deals. She knows the intricacies of all of these details about Josh's life. And Josh was not involved in good things. And so in order to keep her there, they have to keep her under a microscope and they have to keep her under lock and key. So a lot of people that I've talked to have told me that getting in touch with Anna is basically impossible. I've had multiple people over the years since Josh has been put away say that she will not return calls, she is not answering calls, and then on the same flip side, Anna is refusing to believe that Josh is guilty. So Anna won't believe that he's guilty because she can't apparently put herself in the situation that her husband would do something that damaging. So the trauma that she's experiencing right now is that she's being separated from her husband and she's believing these lies that it's a conspiracy, that Caleb Williams did it, that someone else was responsible for this. And Jim Bob is reinforcing that through these lies. Josh is reinforcing it through these lies. And Anna is sort of like, has to do what they say. As far as like her being able to leave, because I wanted to know like what would it actually like why would she stay, like what would it take for her to leave, and this is what they said. If she's still hanging on to the fact that Josh is innocent, then she's not seeing her husband's actions as traumatic. She's seen them that he was framed, not once he's found guilty or his appeal does not go through. She may still believe that he's innocent, but she's going to have something traumatic happen to her or the children in her current life with the Duggar family for her to change the direction and want to get out of there. In my opinion, she would have to have some other wealthy individual who philosophically is close to what she believes that could provide her work or a job and housing and care for her children. Some other big benefactor who is not scared of Jim Bob Duggar. And I said, why would anyone be scared of him? It's not like he's out there killing people. And they said, like I've said before, he's the shot caller. He can kill your community and your character, or his surrogates will do the dirty work. And he said, you can't ever leave the game or the gang. For her to leave, this person says, is they think that something traumatic would have to happen in the Duggar home that would make it so untenable for her to leave. Like, so untenable to live there. She would have to have something happen, whether it be with Jim Bob or the kids or something, to make sure that like she's so traumatized by what's happened. And as long as she stays in this bubble and they can keep her ignorant and making her believe that Josh is innocent, she will live ignorantly believing whatever they tell her. And this person said, as long as she's believing that lie, she will obey whatever they say. It's really sad because the way that they've described it is that they have basically placed Anna in a situation where they've been like, we're going to pay for you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to work. You don't have to worry about anything. And it's like layered in this way where it seems like very sweet and loving. But at the same time, they're also then lying to her and saying like, Josh didn't do it. Caleb Williams did it. Or it was this person that did it. Or this is what happened. And it's not about Josh. It's about this person. And regardless of that, you need to stay with Josh because you're under the umbrella of authority, and she's being counseled that she can't get divorced, that she has to stick it through. She's not being given her options. She's not being allowed to speak to attorneys. She's not being allowed to do anything. She likely has her phone monitored. Jim Bob is known to have all of his kids on the same phone bills. He can access all of their text messages and phone logs. He's not above spying on his kids, and he's also not behind, like, as Derek said and shared on the series, he's not against using threats to keep people in situations. And whether it's him sending the threat or one of his minions doing it for him, he's not above it. He's not above intimidating someone to stay in a situation. And then if they do leave, like this person said, they'll ruin her. They will ruin her reputation. They will start slandering her, and they'll make her life hell. It's sick. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, how does she ever get out of this? Like, how does she ever break free from this? And I don't know. The system is so corrupt. And Jim Bob now, I asked him, like, why hasn't CPS come in and done anything? Why isn't CPS looking at these kids? And all they could say is, like, the Duggars have connections. And they literally said they wouldn't put it above Jim Bob to call in a favor to Mike Huckabee, and to try to get Mike Huckabee to work his magic to get his daughter to like keep the pressure off of Josh and the family and the kids, and to look the other way. Now, I'm not saying that that's happened, but that's what Jim Bob will do. He's known to try to get influence and corrupt people in public places so that he can get out of criminal acts or he can cover up crimes for Josh. Now, I don't know if she would even care about that, but Jim Bob does maintain a relationship with Mike Huckabee, and he still uses Mike's PR person, Chad Gallagher. So he's running in the same circles with Huckabee still, so he could. I'm not saying that he would. But one of the biggest fears in the trial was that Jim Bob would try to corrupt the jury, try to intimidate the jury, maybe try to pay off the jury, try to pay one of the jury in order to like find him not guilty, or try to pay off the judge or pay off the law enforcement. You know, Jim Bob really doesn't have any scruples. And this was known by the law enforcement when it came to Josh because they were fearful that Jim Bob would tamper with the jury. The jury were instructed every single day to not make eye contact or speak to anyone, even if they tried to approach them. When Jim Bob would show up, he would try to like love bomb the room, and he would like open doors and he would say hello to everyone and he would be super friendly. He was trying to do anything in his power to try to like influence the room and try to influence the jury. When Josh's friend, or when Jim Bob's friend took Josh in and basically was his prison where he lived, you know, like when he was under house arrest, that was another situation where it's like Jim Bob basically is using his influence after doing a ton of stuff for this family to get them to convinced that they have to take in Josh. So the people around the Duggars are so brainwashed and they are so loyal to Jim Bob because of all of the gifts and the money that they've spent. And that's not, he does the same for Anna. But the difference here is that if he really cared about Anna, I mean, what makes me really sad for Anna is that he's not going above and beyond for Anna. He's not providing her a home that's outside of the family. He's forcing her to stay in the house with the family, which I don't know about you, but the idea of living with in-laws, I don't think so. I love my father-in-law, but I wouldn't want to live with them. And under a circumstance like this, like forced, right? So Anna is complicated because one, she's a super fan of Josh. She wanted to marry Josh. She's gullible to Josh. She doesn't want to work. She wants to be provided for. She wants to be like the cush life that the Duggars will give her. But at the same time, Jim Bob and Josh are gaslighting her and manipulating her and forcing her to do whatever they want, and she can't say no. She's done a lot of crappy things, in my opinion. She has tried to help Josh find other people to frame. She has, you know, made contact with people to try to influence allegedly what they would tell federal investigators. She didn't cooperate with CPS. She has not been the most stellar mom. She continues to place her children in danger by living in the Duggar family home. And that gets to another thing. Josh was the person in the family that did all the corporal punishment for the kids. So now who is managing the corporal punishment? It's either Anna or Jim Bob. Now think about that. It breaks my heart when I think about these kids. It breaks my heart when I think about these minor children that are still living in the Duggar family, that are still getting whipped and hit, and that Anna is being basically trapped. I vacillate between feeling really bad for Anna and then also being like, Anna, wake the hell up. And Jim Bob and Josh have psychologically, mentally and spiritually and emotionally and financially just abused Anna to the point that she is basically a captive of his and doesn't know the better. It's like Stockholm syndrome, where you're in love with your abusers. It's sad. So I would love to know what your thoughts are about this, about why she doesn't stay or why she hasn't left, and you know, where she's at today. And she can't even go see Josh right now because obviously everything that's going on with the trial, or with him having a phone that was smuggled in, and she did not smuggle the phone in, you guys. That's a rumor that's going around. It's not like that. He can't have visitors until September. So she can't go visit him. She can't talk to him on the phone because he can't have phone calls. So now she's just basically stuck in a house with the Duggars, and no one has seen her. She is so low profile. She doesn't talk to anyone because Jim Bob has her so tightly under control. Like, she is basically a captive, in my opinion. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.